What? Hey.
That's Chunky Albert. It's Fat Albert's little cousin.
Which one are you going to be? I'm going to be Fat Albert since I'm the brother, and you're going to be Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I'll be the Kool-Aid man, because we're both wearing red shirts looking like cherry Kool-Aid.
And let me tell you something. By no means was this shit planned, okay, guys? All right?
No.
So, anyway, UFC 157 was last night. The first fight. And, guys, get used to what we're going to do is we're going to, since you guys want more MMA coverage from George and I, what we're going to do is we're going to have a video for each individual fight, actually. And it'll roll over into the next video, which will be another fight. So that way, you guys don't feel like we're rushing the content and stuff. Anyway, this one is brought to you by MMAparadise.com. And we're going to talk about Robbie Lawler versus Josh Koscheck, or as I would say, Gosh Koscheck.
Yeah, I don't think either one of us picked Robbie Lawler to win. We both, I think, agreed that Robbie Lawler had the power to end this fight, and Koscheck had to be worried. And a lot of people said early stoppage, and I'm going to tell you what, when that first punch hit him on the ground, and he kind of went stiff, and his hands didn't immediately come up to cover his face, I was like, he's...
George, I'm right with you, dude. Sometimes Rogan, like you said, Rogan kind of has been talking a lot lately. But you know, the thing that Joe Rogan does, and Joe Rogan is a very knowledgeable guy, but Joe Rogan does not have the angle that fucking Big Herb Dean has. You know, and if you saw
Herbals is the best ref in the world.
He's the best ref in the world. And man, you saw fucking Josh Koscheck when he was getting hit, his fucking eyes looked like a fucking broken slot machine. Okay. And maybe Rogan didn't get that perspective, but I'm going to tell you what, his shit was fucking spinning around like those motherfuckers' eyeballs do in the cartoons, dude. And I'm like, it's a fucking wrap. Now,
when Robbie Lawler posted with his right arm and stuck him with that left, and you could literally see Koscheck's body kind of like tense up, and I was like, oh. And then he landed 2 or 3 more clean. And my thing, most fighters' natural reaction is to cover up. And Koscheck never did. He never brought his hands up.
He never brought his hands up, and that's why Dean ended. Because you know what? In a fight, when you can protect yourself. And I'm going to tell you what. Lawler said it. I'll say it. And I'm sure you'll say it. And Dean would have said it. If he let him hit it 3-4 more times, dude, Robbie Lawler's got some power. And that's what I said when we did the pre-fights video, that Robbie Lawler has the ability to knock you out. He was handling guys in the middleweights, and now he's back at his real weight class, the welterweights in the UFC. I'm gonna tell you what, man, he's a nasty mother. You know who I would like to see him fight? Hendricks, because they both throw fucking bombs.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think Hendricks would get him. But now my question is where does this leave Josh Koscheck? He's got a fat paycheck. It's a lot for him to show up, because you got to realize these guys get money to show and then money to win. And if you look at John Fitch was, you know, a fighter who didn't have a lot left to accomplish at 170. We kind of know where they're slotted in. They had Koscheck coming as number 8 guy at 170. That would easily knock him out of the top 10. I would say probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I would not be surprised if Koscheck gets cut.
I think Josh Koscheck could do one or two things. I mean, and Koscheck is a pretty big guy, but I mean, you know, you've got 2 losses in a row. Maybe you can think like all these other guys do and say, hey, I'm going to cut another 15.
I don't think he could get 15 off that frame, dude.
And I don't either. I really don't think he can do it.
He'd stand a better chance of trying to fight at 185. But you know where I really think he would make a killing is over in Bellator.
Yeah, he really would, because those guys will have some I'm telling you guys, they've got interesting fights over fucking Bellator. People were
King Mo.
Yes. King Mo, who got hit by a fucking nasty spinning back fist and was just like, the guy who did it, what was he like?
Oh, that dude, he looked like he just won the fucking Powerball, shorty. When he went to raise his hand, that dude was like, ah!
He was like, ah! Right.
I was like, dude, and King Mo was just looking at him and be like, I'm going to stab you in the liver.
Right,
King Mo was not a happy camper.
He was not excited about it. Real quick, we're going to touch briefly on the Urijah Faber, Ivan Menjivar fight. I mean, it ended pretty quickly. And
this was Urijah Faber's first non-title fight. I mean, and a lot of people are complaining that he gets title shots. Well, he beats everyone else but the champ right now. So what else do you do with him?
I just think he's in, we're going to end it pretty quick. I think with Urijah Faber, it's gotten to the point where he's becoming the second coming of John Fitch.
Yeah, he's turning into a gatekeeper, because they're talking about after, Barral fights, Dominic Cruz, that Faber should fight Dominic Cruz again for the 3-peat and just get it over with. So.
Yeah, and I agree. So, I mean, I think there's, Urijah Faber, I mean, he's a little bit more exciting than John Fitch, but right now, like you said, he's a gatekeeper.
Yeah, just a hair. He's just a skosh more entertaining than John Fitch.
And he's got a better haircut. Anyway, man, we're going to wrap it up for this actual fight, these two fights, and stay tuned. Roll over to the next video, and you'll catch the next fight.